Schmidt is currently polling. The RCP average has him number one. There are a number of polls that show he is in the lead, followed by Vicky Hartzler and then Eric Greitens, who is the former disgraced Missouri governor. I don't have anything. I don't think that Vicky Hartzler is a nasty person at all. She might be very lovely. I've never met her. I've never spoken to her. She kind of has a moderate record for me. I have friends that are doing work on her campaign. She seems very lovely. I don't have anything bad really to say. I'm not a big fan. There's things I disagree with her record. I know one of the other cats in the race, Billy Long. He's a conservative. Don't have anything bad to say about him. I just don't think he can win a statewide race. Ultimately I don't. Eric Greitens I've never met. I don't have anything personal against him. Except for the fact that he was a gun control guy. He likes to say that everybody else is a rhino, and they love to sit here and go, oh, Mitch McConnell's endorsed Eric Schmidt. Yeah, well, dude, when we were all out in the streets working to get conservatives elected and fighting with Mitch McConnell, you were road tripping with Bob Holden to go see Barack Obama speak. When we were out there, when I was actually taking flack from McConnell's people, McConnell's never come on my show and he never will. Eric Greitens was out there sucking up to the DNC establishment, and he was being recruited by the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. The receipts are all over online. Happy to provide them. He was going to run. He didn't want to wait his turn, so that's why he went Republican in 2016. Now you can understand why he's a gun control guy. He's the only Republican I ever saw who ever actually created gun-free zones in the state of Missouri. You can go read about it. St. Louis Post-Dispatch gave him a glowing celebratory article for doing it. And it was only after 3 weeks of massive pushback was he forced into reversing that. Because he realized, oh, wait a minute, I'm not doing a good job of being pretending to be a Second Amendment conservative here. He bashed the Missouri Second Amendment Preservation Act using verbatim Mom's Demand language. He said it with his own mouth in a local radio interview. The language of the Mom's Demand supporters has been reported in NPR. It's been reported by the St. Louis local media and in STL Today, all of that. How in the world are you calling yourself a 2A conservative when you're quoting Mom's Demand? Now, and then there was all of the gun groups. Every damn one of them were blowing me up back channel when constitutional carry was underway. And they all noted, every one of them, verbatim, that Greitens had declined to support it. That is why none of them endorsed him. And some of them spoke out and slammed him. Now, I say that because that's one of my big issues. And I don't think that you get to be the bouncer for a movement that you've spent more time working against. And when people don't acquiesce to you and when they don't help you with your ambition, and he's got more ambition than he does, I think, since, then he turns around and calls him a rhino. People who have been working harder, he worked against them as recently as 2016. So no, you don't get to be a bouncer for a movement you haven't done anything to help. You've only done to divide. Hell, he almost tanked Josh Hawley's race against Claire McCaskill with the whole thing as governor. Now, there are people, I've been told, there was a big Texas fundraiser, big Texas money person who says that he's been hanging out at Mar-a-Lago every weekend trying to get a Trump endorsement. And I think some of the people nationally who don't know my home state's the lay of the land, they don't know the people involved. They haven't been in the streets. They've been on television until they decided that they were going to get involved in political endorsements. And they didn't know the land, so they got behind him because he seems charismatic and, whatever. But he's basically Dr. Oz in Missouri. He's the Beto of Missouri. Now, here's the other thing. I don't like to get into people's personal lives. I know that he's going through apparently some stuff with his wife. He's apparently going through a very contentious custody battle, and there's all kinds of evidence going out and all this stuff. I haven't gotten into that. I don't like it when anybody does it on either side. But I do think that it's pretty dumb strategy to have all this happen during a time when there are other people who have more solid records than him who could be running for the Senate. And it just seems to me that you wouldn't jeopardize Senate control by running a campaign at a time like this when this is a problem he created. One last thing on this. He left the governor's mansion because he and his team chose to cut a deal with Kim Gardner. Kim Gardner being corrupt has nothing to do with this. There was enough evidence for impeachment. You had a super majority Republican legislature in Missouri. Grassroots. Don't sit here and tell me they're rhinos. I ain't going to hear no criticism about these people as rhinos from people who were Democrats up until 2016. Hell no. Some of us have done a lot of heavy lifting, and I know a lot of grassroots out there in Missouri who get real mad about that. Super majority Republican legislature. They did not want to do this. They created a subcommittee. They looked at the same evidence Gardner had. They talked to the same witnesses. And I know for a fact they were freaking out, going, oh my gosh, it merits impeachment. The Hawley McCaskill thing was tanking because of Greitens. Greitens created this huge storm in Missouri because he couldn't keep it in his pants, apparently. And he cut a deal with Kim Gardner. And that's why he ended up leaving the governor's mansion. I'm going to tell you this too. I like winning. Winning is a virtue. If you're going to do all of this stuff and ruin your family and all of that, I'm going to be very clinical. You do it on your own damn time. You don't do it on the voters' time. You don't actually jeopardize the governor's mansion. You don't jeopardize another Senate race. And you don't jeopardize the supermajority legislature in the state. If you're going to do all that crap, you do it on your time. You don't screw over the voters in the process and then turn around and act like you have a mandate from God to run in this race and call everyone else who has been doing the heavy lifting and cleaning up your mess rhinos because they don't do it. No, we're not doing that. I want to win the Senate. If you're going to do that stuff, don't get caught. Golly.